What's going on? Ghouls, gals. This week, doing a little something different. Action, martial arts. We love it. But this week, we're going to the horror genre, son. That's right. Horror genre. Representing one of the best genres out there today. Going today, one of our favorites. Great panel today. Great panel of guests on the 10th episode of Versus. So thank you everyone for being here today. Let's do the damn thing here. Hold on one second. We have Rick Myers, the legendary Kung Fu Santa, is here with us again.
Werewolf
Santa. Werewolf Santa today. That's right. Still representing the work. Films of Fury. Brand new book. Check out the documentary. Badassity Abounds. That's right. Master Chaos in the house. What you drinking there, my friend?
Well, I'm making a special drink for tonight. This is, the hell's it called? Captain Morgan Spice Apple Rum. This is called Beware the Moon. Beware the Moon.
Nice.
It's very simple. Apple rum, Coke. And that's it. And then you drink as much as you can stand and you'll live.
Nicely done. I like it.
Samurai, promote this book tonight. Don't promote the Kung Fu book.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh.
With the world of exploitation films. There are werewolves in this.
There you go. There you go, chat. There you go, Movie Dojo Army.
I'm running away from a werewolf on the back cover.
Oh, brilliant. Love it. His books are always amazing. Make sure you guys check that out. And every time Rick and Aaron is here, I feel smarter. You make me feel smarter, Aaron and Rick. That's right. We have Mr. Pin from Cult of Cinema. Welcome back, my friend.
I have no Coke, but I have Pepsi, so I'm close. Might be sacrilege from Master Chaos, but I got Pepsi.
No, that's fine.
I got water right here. Water with a little energy packet. That's how we're doing it today. Well, welcome back, Aaron. It's always great to have. I need energy. I don't have energy like you guys.
What kind of energy? What did you put in there? It's like
one little packet. Put in there. Shh. A little bit of steroids with speed. No,
that's all you need. That's all you need.
Aaron, it's always great to have you here, my friend.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, Tony of the Dead. That's right. Night of the Axe coming out very soon. Horror film. Right. That's right, because we're talking horror today.
And
Tony, it's always great.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to have Sean Wright on my channel, and we're going to interview him talking about the movie. So
nice.
And I'm drinking water as well.
Hey, that's all good. It's always awesome to have you here, Tony, on the panel.
Thank you.
That's right. And it's such an honor and a pleasure to meet the lead actor that played David in American Werewolf in London. Wow. What's up?
I don't see it.
You look good for your age. You look good, man. Wow.
David.
Some surgery.
Danny.
What's up?
The Cinestalker.
I got a cold beverage right here.
Yeah, the frosty beverage.
Korean beer, cask.
Oh.
Yes. It's always great to have the Cinestalker one. That's right. Danny here on the show. The last time you were here, my friend, we were talking about, is it really that bad? And it was the fourth Crow film, right? Salvation.
Oh, dude.
And we both wanted to kill ourselves. Yeah.
It's pretty god-awful.
Yeah. But thanks for hanging out with us today, man. I know you're really busy on your channel. Let's see.
Movies.
Yeah, Movie Dojo Army, son. Who is here today? Oh, we got a brand new member of the channel. Woo!
Look at that.
Oh, shit. Marley, you are a certified badass now. Thank you so much. That's right. Yes. And we got thank you again, Marley. Dog Soldiers, he's so ready for this. This is his top 2 favorite werewolf movies, pitted against each other. We got Orlando in the house, Nigel, Michael Gonzalez, Samurai Warriors Unite. That's right. Everybody's here. Mr. King Palma, Heather's here. Oh, yeah, I love food, which I do. And let's go ahead and get into it here. And Nigel's here as well. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let us talk about The Howling. Now this, I didn't know. This was not planned like this. I didn't know. This kind of blew my mind that both werewolf films came out the same year. I was like, what? I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys knew that, but that kind of blew my mind there. I was like, wow.
I knew that yesterday.
You knew that yesterday. I have not seen Wolfen. Have any of you guys seen Wolfen? Apparently, Wolfen came out that same year too.
It did, yeah, in 1981. But like, spoiler alert, Wolfen's not exactly a werewolf film.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because somebody was asking me, why did you have Wolfen in there? Okay, all right. Well, good. Now I know then to stay away from that. I'll watch it. Is it worth watching? Is it worth?
No,
It's worth
a good film.
watching.
It's just not a werewolf.
Okay.
Film. It's a different take.
Also,
Okay.
Rick Baker was supposed to do the werewolf transformations in The Howling, but he got the better job.
Right.
So he gave the transformations in Howling to one of his proteges and students.
Oh, interesting. That's really interesting.
Wow.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We got 1981, The Howling, directed by Joe Dante. Plot synopsis is: after a bizarre and near deadly encounter with a serial killer, a television newswoman is sent to a remote mountain resort whose residents may not be what they seem. Dee Wallace is in here, Patrick McNee, Dennis Dugan, and many others. Let's get into it. The Howling. So, I've only seen this movie once. Many years ago. I've seen it once, so watching it again, I have the Steelbook here. Woohoo! Steelbook!
That's nice.
Oh, wow.
That's right, I have the Steelbook. I got the Steelbook. I was like, well, now's the perfect time to go ahead and watch it again and revisit it because I've only seen it one time. I remember liking it. I didn't love it, but I did really like it. Watching it again, it's pretty good. It's really good. It's very solid werewolf film. I actually really like the practical effects. Makeup effects are good. I enjoy the transformation sequence in there. There's some good stuff, like the guy pulling the werewolf pulling the silver bullet case out of his head because it was still in his head. Not the silver bullet case, but the regular bullet case when he got shot by the cops. Yeah, I mean, there's little touches here and there that I enjoyed. I'll let you guys talk more about it. Talk about what you liked and what you didn't like about The Howling, and then we'll go to American Werewolf in London. But I liked it more. I have a few issues with it, but I liked it more revisiting it after all these years.
Okay.
And what we'll do is we'll go down to Danny and we'll go all the way around to Rick. Danny, positives and negatives of The Howling.
Yeah, like I said, just like you said, I like the effects, and I think they were by Rob Bottin. The effects, I believe, he did the makeup effects for it, but he did a thing also after this, I think. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good. A good premise of it. Like I like how it starts off the movie, like the way it starts off. Like the way it is and stuff. And
Yeah.
then, but yeah, it's like some of it like with, but for the most part though, yeah, I think it's a pretty solid, werewolf flick and that kind of thing. I think it's pretty solid.
Were you disappointed you didn't get a werewolf orgy?
Yeah. Kind of just.
Just kidding.
Yeah. It's kind of there.
The opening. I know you said you like the opening, right? But I was more annoyed. I was like, dude, does anybody know what they're doing with this case?
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, she easily could have died. Like, I don't know how many times. Like, did you guys test out? Did you test this out first?
Yeah.
Before you even set her out there as bait to catch the serial killer? It was so like, what are you? What are you guys doing? But yeah, was there any negatives? It sounds like you enjoyed the film overall. Was there any things you could have tweaked? Any negatives in it?
Not too bad. I can assume. I mean, it's like some of it's a little. For the most part, I think it's pretty good. For the most part, I'm not too much negative to say about it. Not too much.
Okay. You got classic actors in here, right? You got Slim Pickens in here, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Those that are new that are watching Versus, we always go into spoilers on here. So just letting you know, spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert, I forgot. But yeah, Slim Pickens turns into a half werewolf. I'm like, okay, I'm all in here. What in the wild world of sports are you doing? But
they're saying there's an echo, and it's really annoying.
It's not come from me. I'm wearing headphones. Do you have headphones, Danny?
No, I got no headphones on.
Okay. Ranjit's in the house. Oh yeah, he could not be here tonight, guys. He had filming obligations. It's just how it is, It's all good, brother. We'll get you on the next one. Hey, we'll get you on the next one. All right. His vote is for American Wolf in London, though. If he was here tonight, he would have picked London.
Here you go.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's echoing. So, but Dan, if you don't have headphones, don't worry about it. We'll get through it.
I don't think it's me.
Okay.
Let me see.
All right. I don't know who it is. So, all right, here we go. Tony, positives and negatives on the Howling.
Well, this was one I said. I think I saw it a while ago, and then I watched it last night, and I never saw this before. Like nothing was familiar, and I'm like, nope, never saw this. I really like how like when they cut the hand off and it turned back into the hand, it was like creepy, bubbling, and like that was really cool.
Yeah,
the transformation was really cool. Looked painful, but it took forever. Not the transformation taking forever doesn't bother me. It's the fact that they just stood there and they're like, I could run right out the door, but I'm gonna watch this happen. You know, that kind of got on my nerves a little bit. But some likable characters, even the people on the beach. It's like there's a mystery going on. Like you kind of can figure what's going on, but like you're thinking maybe not everybody is part of it. And then the guy who was the doctor, I thought it was funny too, because again, I never saw this, so I didn't know he was in this, but I know him from Waxwork, and I think it's funny how in Waxwork he gets his head ripped off by a werewolf.
Oh, brilliant!
So,
those are fun movies. I enjoy those movies.
Right. Yeah, so I thought, maybe this is, at the time I was like, maybe he don't die, and maybe that was how they kill him. But no, he got killed. But I love that Dick Miller was in this. I love his part. Like just such a small scene, but like he was great.
Yes.
Dee Wallace, I like her. I think she's cute as hell. Even back then, she was cute as hell. She complains a little too much though. Like when she, but her husband's a piece of shit. Let's see, what else do I like about it?
He was bit by a werewolf, Tony. It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. Yeah, his dick was bit before that, though. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool movie. The negatives, the stop motion,
at the
obvious
end,
stop motion. I mean, I watched on Scream Factory's version on Blu-ray, and it was very noticeable. But at least it was quick, so that would be a negative. Also, the ending, I wish we saw more werewolf action,
right?
Because everybody's just kind of like they all got burned, and I wish the girl that Dee Wallace became friends with, I can't remember her name, but she was the only friend she had there. I wish she would have lived with her. Also, I wish Dee Wallace didn't it was like boom, she gets shot. I wish they didn't kill her. Because what if again everybody's like that's fake, that's real. They should have her do it again and again, right. or something. I don't know. Just like her dying, I didn't like that part, but I did like the very ending.
It feel a little rushed.
Yeah, like she's in the middle of turning this cute little werewolf. She looked like a little puppy.
That's one of my negatives, man.
She's a cute werewolf.
Because I like this here. Her transformation. She's like, oh shit, she's gonna she's gonna do it. This is gonna be badass. This is gonna be great. And then all of a sudden, yub.
Oh, look,
yub.
I'm gonna pet her.
I was just like, oh, we got a little Ewoks action here. Okay.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You can name her Iris.
There you go.
Maybe she didn't want to be turned into an ugly werewolf. She wanted to be a cute one.
Yeah. Iris.
Maybe because she's a good person, she turned into a cute one. I don't know. We don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
But I heard on the interviews that this, because this was a book, which is interesting, but this doesn't really have the whole book in it. But the fourth one is supposed to be more by the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have never seen any other Howling, so I still want to watch them, but I'll be honest, I'm conflicted between this one and the other one. Nice. I really like this one for watching the first time, but I've seen the other one a bunch of times. So
right.
I gotta wait till hear everybody else what they say, and then I'll decide from there.
Awesome. I like it. Makes things interesting.
Pomeranian werewolf.
Pomeranian. Oh, that's funny. Kind of looks like a little bit of a Wookiee too, right?
Yeah, a little Wookiee.
Yeah. Aaron, positives and negatives
I'm a
on
big Howling
The
fan,
Howling.
just like to get that out of the way first. So
Nice.
I've watched all the films, and I have read all the books. She doesn't die, actually, in the book, really. She lives in the second book.
Okay.
But in the fourth movie is closer to the original book. Not saying it's as good as the first movie, though. Just want to put that in. Not the same caliber of actors, but it's still a fun watch. I liked The Howling. I've always liked this film.
Yeah.
If you're a Hammer fan, look for the Hammer directors that are named, because there's actors that are named after Hammer directors in the film.
Oh, nice.
There's a ton of of just like throwbacks in this one here, and I think the reason that she looks the way that she does, or the way that I always took it from when I was a kid, is because we learn here that there's no full moon like transformation. Like they can kind of transform at any time, so they've got more control kind of over their transformation. So the fact that she's exposing it and committing suicide, which is kind of what she's trying to do,
right?
I always took it as basically she subconsciously didn't want to scare people in the same way that, like, once you embrace your werewolf self.
That's interesting.
So that's why she comes off as kind of like the cuter type character. I love the transformation sequence in this. Are we talking about the transformations now, by the way? Or is that
you could talk about what you liked about it, and then when we get to London, you could do that one too.
Okay. I'll say this right now, and it's going to be controversial.
No, do it. Do it.
Okay, so, yeah, like Rick mentioned there, that basically American Werewolf London was in production first, but Landis could not get go-ahead for the longest time. So Rick Baker went on to do the Howling right here. So Landis calls him up, says, the werewolf movie is happening, and he's like, oh crap, I'm doing a werewolf movie. So he gets his assistant Rob Bottin to go and do the film. So Rob Bottin is, of course, the guy that goes on to do The Thing, and American Werewolf in London, which we'll talk about later, is a movie that gets an Academy Award. This is the point for me when the student beats the master.
All right.
Because
interesting.
Hot take right here. I like the transformation better here. It's not as lit. It's not as bright. It's not as showy. It's well shot. It's well shot too. Extremely well done. Like it's shadowed just kind of perfectly. The Howling is a creepy film. The Howling is out of these two, The Howling is a much creepier, scarier film. And especially, what other movie can make a smiley face like something that can tense you up? If you're watching the movie closely, he's the Robert Picardo's character. I guess most people know from Star Trek now, but he's like the smiley face killer. And anytime that he's going to kill somebody, or there's a smiley face sticker around. So anytime you see like a smiley face sticker in the film, it's right before Robert Picardo shows up. And he kind of chews up the scenery. This was his first like real role. So that was, I guess,
great
kind of for him. But he looks different. Obviously, a guy who's like me, who's kind of doesn't have much hair, has a ton of hair. Right. In this film.
I wish he lived longer, though.
I loved seeing Roger Corman do that little part at the beginning.
Yeah.
Where he's looking for the change. And
wasn't one of the guys, the old man that wanted to kill himself, was like an old time actor, like from
John Carradine.
Yeah. He's like an invisible
it's
man and all that stuff.
At the beginning, they do it like, so John Carradine, he's this crazy old man and he just wants to kill himself. But if you listen to what he's saying at the beginning, it's that he's getting older, and as a werewolf, his teeth aren't as good as they used to be.
Yeah.
And that I always felt that was kind of fun. It gave John Carradine a cool little character role when he's been wasted in so many films.
Yes.
Like he did everything. And some was good, and some was Frankenstein's Island, which wasn't good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, overall, I really enjoyed.
Awesome. Yeah, it was nice. That's what I said today when I rewatched The Howling earlier today, was, it's nice to see John Carradine in a good movie. I was like, finally, it's so nice seeing him and stuff. I seen him in, I don't remember what horror movie it was, but it was one where all he did was they just hired him to sit. He just sat there. And they didn't have enough time or money to finish the scene, and so they used his face from other movies to to finish the scene. It was ridiculous, and I just feel so bad for the guy, you know. But I'm so glad that he had a little meaty role in this.
One other thing I got to mention too, Elizabeth Brooks, Canadian actress. Unfortunately, she passed away early, but she's a standard in this film. She's gorgeous. She's kind of the Earth werewolf, kind of the back to our roots, you know, kind of back to nature type of thing.
Right.
And I really like her, and I really like the aspect of Patrick Nee's character using kind of a self-help type, kind of a therapy thing. Because around the 80s, that time, there's a lot of that going on. I'm old, so I know this stuff. There's a whole lot of like people like reading these self-help books and going to these like clinics and that. And it's neat the way that they do that. Use the colony.
Right. Awesome.
I agree.
All right. Oh, go ahead, Tony. You had something to say?
No, I said I agree. I agree with that. I like that idea too. How it's like a therapy place, and like they're trying to get away from their, you know, they want to live with them, among everybody.
Right. Copy that. All right, Master Chaos, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is Joe Dante secretly a furry?
Yes.
You have my fucking money?
I actually know Joe a little bit. He was in one of my films. I got to interview him for a mockumentary, actually my last movie. So I spent some time with him, and I 100% right now exclusively say his office is filled of animal dicks, like all kinds of dicks hanging from the walls. And when I walked in, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know, I've seen posters of his movies, but now it's like horse dicks and fucking pig dicks and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen.
I'm like,
oh. You had me there for a second. I was like, oh.
Explanation. Just like Dick. Hung down.
No, he actually does have just posters of his movies. He only has one of Matinee, actually. He has a big Matinee poster, which was awesome.
Nice.
Anyway, The Howling. I have a weird history with this movie. So the discussion here, the verses here, it's essentially, for me, is Joe Dante versus John Landis. You know, two very different directors, two very different minds, but essentially they're both making a tongue-in-cheek werewolf movie. Yeah, The Howling is scarier. You know, it's definitely more of a horror movie. Pros and cons. Pro for me, I love the cast. You know, he brings out all these amazing actors: Kevin McCarthy, Dick Miller, Carradine. I love seeing that. I love that Joe always shows his love for movies and his love for these actors and that style of filmmaking, those kinds of filmmakers or actors, I should say. So I love that. I also and I'm blanking on her name now, which is ridiculous. The lead actress,
Dee Wallace.
Dee Wallace. Oh my fucking god! I made a movie with Dee, and we were hanging out on set. She was in. I wrote a Hansel and Gretel movie, and she was the witch. And we were hanging out on set, and I said, I gotta tell you, I really love The Howling. I thought you were amazing in that. And she goes, oh, thank you. That was such a pain in the ass to make. And that was it. That was all she would. That was all she would say. Like, it was a tough day on set, so maybe she was just reacting to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Dee is amazing in this, and she gets to work with her husband, which is cool. The story is so unique. It's not. I mean, I guess it's your typical werewolf movie. I like the fact that there's like a werewolf cult in this town of weird werewolves and things like that. I love all that. But there's just something about the movie, and it's hard to put it into words. You know how sometimes a movie hits you a certain way and it gives you a certain feeling.
Yeah.
You can't really put a critical note on it. You can't put your finger on and say, okay, this is why I don't like this movie. It just hits you a certain way. There's something always about The Howling that just hit me the wrong way.
Okay.
As much as I love Dante and I love his other movies, there's just something about The Howling that just doesn't work for me, and I don't know what it is. And I've watched this multiple times. I've read the book. I didn't read the rest of the books, but I've seen the rest of the movies. But there's just something about this one that is off to me, and I can't critically put my finger on it and say, oh, it's because this and this.
Maybe maybe
I
needed
don't know.
more kills, more gore, more excitement. Maybe
I mean, maybe. I mean, yeah, American Werewolf doesn't really have
that's
a lot of gore or excitement, if you want to put it that way. But there's just something about the trajectory of the story, the confluence of the characters, and the way it all works together. It's just it's a weird stew that I don't like to eat. That's the that's the weirdest way for
okay.
me to review a movie. But that's my I don't know. That's just how I feel about The Howling.
Something feel you like it, you enjoy it, but something's off
Yeah,
about it.
it's
Okay.
it's never my go-to werewolf movie. As
Right.
much as I appreciate all the special effects and the actors,
Right.
I actually do really like the ending. I thought that was kind of a really amazing, surprising ending. But the meat of it just doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, well that too. Uh, that's
Okay.
that's all I really have to say about The Howling.
Well said. Well said. Rick, The Howling.
You guys, you youngsters, get off my lawn. So effing jaded. It does make a difference when you see a movie. And I saw the premiere of this in New York. At the time, I had just finished with Fangoria and Famous Monsters, where I was assistant editor or consulting editor. I was researching this book, the original version of which came out 2 years after the premiere of this movie. I also was fairly well known for having introduced the special effects makeup people to the mass Starlog and my books. In that, I was the first guy who really promoted Dick Smith. I sort of started the wave, and of course, his fan Rick Baker. I would hang out with Rick at his house in LA when I was living out there in the mid '80s, when I was working on the revival of the Twilight Zone. And I knew all of the makeup people. And by the way, there's a rumor that probably one of the reasons that you may have enjoyed, those of you who did enjoy this transformation better than the other transformation, is that Rick Baker did do the transformation in Howling, but he left it to Rob to work out the mechanics of it on the set. And they were faced with the same sort of situation as Steven Spielberg in Jaws, which is they didn't have the time, the budget, the money to really spend a lot of time. So they made Lemonade by changing the lighting and covering some of the loss and made it more dramatic. So that's maybe one of the reasons you enjoyed that. Also, I want to mention that don't cry for John Carradine. He appeared in more than 350 movies in his career. He, of course, created his legacy with all his kids, or all filmmakers, actors as well.
Yes.
And he was in The Grapes of Wrath and many other exceptional movies. He just liked to keep working later on in his career. So he would sit there if they wanted him to, and he had no problem with that. He also had a little problem with the bottle, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Now I'm going back to when I saw this at the premiere. At the time this came out, this was as far from a typical werewolf movie as you could possibly imagine. No other werewolf movie was anything like this before or at the time. Now, with all you guys who have seen everything that The Howling and American Werewolf have inspired, now it seems a little more old hat and a little staid. But at the time, not typical in any way, shape, or form. The other thing that nobody's mentioned, and as a writer, you can understand where I'm coming from. Yes, Joe Dante is awesome, but he is no more or less awesome than the screenwriter of this movie, the great independent filmmaker John Sayles. He and Joe collaborated. They were working from a script based on the book, which became basically the fourth movie. And Joe brought in the writer, Sayles, to completely rewrite it, I think in like 2 weeks. And this was more than just a werewolf movie. This was also an homage and satire of werewolf movies. and with the wit and the wisdom, especially of Sales. Because Joe, as you may know, he's a wild man. He's a fun guy. He is not as deep as Sales is. Have you seen any of Sales's work? Brother from Another Planet, Return of the Secaucus 7. He brought his intellect to this movie, and he brought his respect for the werewolf genre. So, at the time, I enjoyed it immensely. I had never seen a werewolf movie like this at all. And also, I make a distinction because I write horror novels, but I make a distinction between horror and monster movies. To me, this is a monster movie. It's not a horror movie. Neither of them are really horror movies. They're more monster satires, comedies, homages, tributes. And as such, I loved it because I left Starlog after they offered me the editorship of Fangoria because I didn't like slasher movies. I loved monster movies. I worked on, Seaboard Periodical's Movie Monsters as an assistant editor. Went to Starlog, went to the first issue of Fangorian, which had Godzilla on the cover. And I wrote all about the special effects makeup guys, and I was good with all of them. So, again, the rumor is that Rick actually did work out everything except for the shouting on the set. And that's why I looked like him. But now I'm repeating myself. I think I hit all my points. That, they dealt with the budget. They had the fun that they had. And at the time, it was like, ba-boom. It was just great.
Nice.
Not only was it just great at the time.
Rick, quick question. The Howling's budget, was it lower than London?
Oh, absolutely, positively.
Okay.
Howling was
Wow.
independent.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a studio film.
Wow. Okay. Nice. But
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed the transformation sequence. I like the part of the transformation sequence where the eyeball rolls back. That was really cool, man. I was like, oh, shit. Like, there was really a lot of great stuff in here. And of course, me, I always want more gore and kills and stuff, but I actually enjoyed myself more, watching this again after revisiting this. I'm not a big fan of this, but it's fine.
It represents the movie in that they didn't do what you expected.
Right.
And at the time, the whole audience erupted when she turned into the shit suit.
Nice. Oh, really quick before we move on to London, because I know Danny's only here for a little bit, a minimum of time. Okay, cool. This is probably one of the funniest moments for me. I laughed hysterically in this movie was when Dee finds her friend dead, goes over here, starts investigating, picks up documents, and all of a sudden, you see this nice little werewolf hand come out of nowhere and grab the documents. not like, werewolf strike. It was just like, I'll take that. Thank you very much. I was just like, this is hilarious. But yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, it's pretty well done.
Yeah.
Very well done suit and effects. Like, very well done. But yeah, I did enjoy it. You got to love, what was the Canadian actress's name again, Aaron?
Elizabeth Brooks.
This has to be one of the best, hands down, seductive lines ever. To try to seduce someone or a married man or whatever. They're they're on the beach doing their thing, and then all of a sudden, Dee Wallace's husband's walking around looking for his wife, and he comes and walks by her, and she goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm looking for my wife." And then she stops and looks at him and goes, "Why?" I was like, wow. And he actually paused for a second there. He's like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm married. I forgot. I gotta be good. I gotta be a good boy." Until later, until he decided to be a dick. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. All right, let's go ahead and segue. Fashion show time. We're going to segue to
another shirt.
That's it.
Real quick, about before we get to London, the Howling. He mentioned John Sayles. I love John Sayles. He wrote some of my favorite movies. Piranha and Alligator. Alligator is phenomenal. So I love John Sayles. I think his script for Alligator is better, in my opinion. But I tend to like aquatic horrors better. And the werewolf for me in the Howling has like his ears are too big, man. That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, look at that.
Kind of like
That's
big
like something
rabbit
like,
ears.
yeah, it's like a mascot, some like theme park. I don't know. Okay, on to London.
all right.
Oh, and by the way, oops, where's my hand? There's John Carradine. John Carradine on my shirt.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Nice. All right. American Werewolf in London, also 1981, directed by John Landis. The plot synopsis: two American college students on a walking tour of Britain are attacked by a werewolf that none of the locals will admit exists. Yes, this is starring Danny the Cinestalker is in this as David.
I don't
And
see it.
I just like messing with Danny. I just like messing with him. He hasn't been
It's
on here.
fine.
All right, so American Werewolf in London. Hey, whatever makes you laugh, baby. Oh,
It
what,
works,
you got?
man.
What else you got there, Rick?
This is my House of Dracula shirt.
Dracula,
There's
yeah.
the werewolf.
Nice.
That's rad, yeah.
Look at the back.
All right.
you
Yeah.
go.
Rick's got all the cool shirts, man. I'm jealous.
Oh, horror
Hey,
pimping right there.
completely off topic, Rick. I prefer House of Frankenstein. Do you prefer House of Dracula?
No, I don't. This was the only shirt they had. They didn't have the House of Frankenstein. I would have gotten the House of Frankenstein shirt if they had the House of Frankenstein shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
But this was a limited edition shirt made for the San Diego Comic-Con from a little booth that was actor's booth. And this is one of the most expensive shirts I bought, but I love it.
I would have bought that too. That's awesome.
Shout out to all the Movie Dojo members, people watching right now. 42 Badasses, thanks for hanging out with us today with the legends in the panel. All right, so I remember seeing clips. You know, this is when I was young and stupid, okay? I saw clips of the transformation on TV, and I was like, whoa, that looks awesome. I got to see this movie. And I remember everybody was telling me, dude, this is like the greatest werewolf movie of all time. It is so awesome. I'm like, oh my God. So my expectations were like up to the roof. So young and stupid, high expectations. Not a good combination, right? So when I first saw the movie, I was like, I didn't know what to think. I was just like, what is this? Like, what is this? Is this a comedy? What is this, right?
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, That was my reaction, right?
Yeah.
It is all right. Many years later, I have grown up. I have matured in a way. In a way, I'm still a big kid. But seen a lot more movies, had a lot more love for dark comedy, right? Rewatched it again. Not recently, but but I did buy the beautiful Arrow release of this is fantastic. Oh, that's right. Chaos has got his copy too.
Yeah,
but I have an old Blu-ray.
Mine's over there.
Yeah, everybody's got it. But I had an old Blu-ray, like maybe like 8 years ago, whenever, a long time ago. I had an old Blu-ray release, and I bought it, and I gave it another shot, and I enjoyed it so much more than the first time, where I was really confused. I was just kind of like, is this funny? Like, what is this, right? Remember, I was young and stupid, right? Rewatching it again, I was laughing my ass off. I was laughing my ass off. All those scenes with his dead friend coming back and be like, hey man, all right, you promised me we were gonna go out, gonna go to Italy, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have fun. I'm supposed to be getting laid, you know. I get killed, right? Now I'm dead. I'm undead. I'm not fully dead. I'm just roaming around here, man. You need to kill yourself, man. Help us out. Otherwise, you're gonna go out there and kill more people. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I love throughout the movie how he just started composing more.
He starts rotting away more and more. Yeah. It's falling apart.
And I was like laughing hysterically. Lady Fat Blood was over here watching it with me. She was laughing, and I just enjoyed it a lot more. Now here's a controversial thing. This is my controversial thing now. Neither of these movies scared me. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed both of these movies, but they didn't really. But that's, I watch it for entertainment.
They're not horror. They're not horror movies. They're not.
Yeah, right. But there were a few things. There was a few shots that kind of like, ooh, that's a little creepy. I like that.
Yeah.
And that's the shot of. I love the way the werewolf looks way more, the design in this than over the Howling. But that's just my opinion. I love the way the werewolf looks in this one. I love his howl. It's just iconic.
Mm-hmm.
And like the sequence in the subway.
Mm-hmm.
You barely saw the werewolf, but it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. And that one shot, little things go. I go, ooh, that's creepy. That one shot where he's on the escalator,
Yeah.
and you have that far away long shot, and you see the werewolf, little tiny shot of him slowly crouching toward him.
Yeah.
That, I love stuff like that. That stuff, I was like, oh, that's a little creepy. I love that shot. I like that. So I enjoyed the movie way more when I understood films, and I wasn't a fucking idiot growing up. And where are the explosions to the boobs? Where is this, right? Actually, I'm kind of that way now. What am I saying? I'm still kind of that way. But you know what I mean. But I did enjoy it a lot. I love the werewolf transformation. I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of Aaron, I don't know, man. I'm conflicted, Aaron. I really wasn't expecting to like the werewolf transformation as much as the Howling. Like when I watched the Howling, like I liked that werewolf transformation a lot. Like I'm kind of like I might lean more towards London, but I'm just saying I really like the one in the Howling as well in terms of werewolf transformations. So I'm kind of like, but I'll make my final decision at the end. I want to hear what you guys have to say. David.
Oh yeah.
How was it working on the set back then?
It was a fun time. A great the
Positive
cast was a pain in the ass.
Right.
But yeah, I always liked the American Werewolf in London. I remember watching it like I don't know how old I was, like maybe like 10 or 11 when I watched it. I mean, I probably saw on TV like clips of it, and
Nice.
Kind of, almost like you. I kind of like, what is this movie? A comedy? Is it like not really crazy gory? It had some good makeup effects, but I don't know what it was. When I was younger, kind of like you. Then when you're older, you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, I know what this is, and like this dark humor aspect to it. And then like how it starts off, they're in that little pub. What's it called? The Shepherd's Lamb. Is that what it's called? The Shepherd's Lamb?
Slaughtered
Lamb. Sorry, Shepherd's Lamb. Slaughtered. Yeah.
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherds. But they go in there and they go in there and everyone looks at them and stuff like, who are these two like tourists? And I like that. They're like, don't talk to them. Like it's funny. And then they go in that field and they said, you let them go out. And they go out there and like, what did you do? And then they get
Stay away from the moors.
Yeah. They go.
Stay on the road.
Yeah, stay on the road, and they cut through the damn moors. You know what I mean? And they're like, we lost track of the road or some crap like that. They're like there, and they hear like the werewolf, the howling of the werewolf, and it's like, oh shit, it's kind of creepy a little bit, like subtle. And the guy gets attacked. It's like this vicious attack. Like the guy's just getting like those little cut shots, like ripped, like it's all these things, And the guy wakes up in the hospital, and he gets those images, like you said, of his friend, and dead and stuff, and it's like slaughtered. He gets like I like the breakfast where he gets the yolk, it just dips the toast in. It's like the little part of the flesh dangling right there, like the neck, it's like it's kind of dangling as he eats the yolked up toast. It's kind of funny. Like you got to kill yourself, David. It's like what, like what is these things? And the guy hooks up with that nurse, and then he's at her house, and he gets these weird dreams, of like that like what's that like Nazi character dream thing or something like that.
The werewolf soldiers that came in.
The werewolf soldier, the werewolf soldier. Yeah. There's crazy things going on. And then, it's like, I was like looking like, what's going on? And I was like,
massacred the whole family, man. That's it.
Like,
the whole family. Yeah.
But I guess as an amazing effects job by Rick Baker. I love that the transformation with. And you get the music in the background playing too while he's transforming this painful, horrible experience. It's like this agony. There's the bladders, like they put the bladders in there to make the skin bubble up, and it's like almost like the Howling. So the Howling, that's why you can see the Rick Baker, his influence in the Howling with the transformation, of that in a sense, and the Howling. But I like a Werewolf in London. It's just like you see it like full on like with the lights on. There's like nothing to hide. So that's
Right,
like the hardest thing to
right,
do for
right.
makeup effects. It's you're seeing it all right there, which is like an unheard of thing. Like at that time, it's like it's
Yeah.
like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
Amazing job. This hand stretching the friggin' face. It's like awesome, super great stuff. And then yeah. It's not exactly
Sorry.
that.
Sorry, I just had to show it one more time just for fun. Any negatives, Danny? Any negatives about the
I said
film?
like maybe like it's like almost like you said, like it was a little more creepier, which was a little more creepier at times. like I know it's not supposed to be. I wish it was a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe just because but it's a solid solid movie. I think the pace is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I said toward the end, like you see parts of him, like the wolf, like the face and stuff. Then at the end, you see this like big ass, like kind of like werewolf creature, and stuff. Like they're going toward the they're going by the subway, I think it is. They're going like the woman, like the cops everyone's chasing them down toward the end, all that stuff. But I thought it was a pretty solid movie, and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I thought that was a classic movie. And then
Do you have a favorite werewolf film, or is this it?
It's probably this one.
One of the top. So it's one of the top.
It's up there. I
Okay.
love this. I love the classic Wolfman. With the Universal, monster movies.
Claude Rains. Yeah.
Yeah. With I love the classic Wolfman.
So really, not enough. Not a lot of negatives.
No, I always
Okay.
like this one. I always like this one a lot. So I wish it was a little more horror stuff, a little more
Yeah.
creepiness involved, maybe a little more kills. But that's just like probably the era we grew up in. You kind of, what I mean. But even though that was '80s, early '80s and stuff.
Yeah.
But still, a solid classic movie.
Okay.
Says like got a lot of humor involved. I think I always liked the American Wolf in London. I think it's it's
Cool.
always solid in my mind.
Awesome. Thank you, Danny. Tony, positives and negatives. It's all right. Sorry, man.
What did you do? A second.
It's okay.
Aaron. No, just kidding.
Turn into a werewolf.
Let's see. Well, positives. Let's see. What the fuck? I like how the
Sorry.
beginning movie felt like, it had the feel of like a Universal Monsters kind of movie, like like the town, the atmosphere. It was very cool. I do like them together, like they're very likable people. To Jack is funny, and then again the Howl. I like the Howl, but I really like the Howls in the Howling too, because there's so many of them. They're all different. I like that too. And she's recording that. Like, and I'm just thinking, like, playing that back's got to sound so creepy in your ears, listening to that. But this one sounded more vicious and ferocious, while the other one was just like, "We're fucking," kind of thing. There's the fucking moon. Look at it. Like one. But yeah. I mean, and the whole time he's having sex with her, I'm just thinking there's got to be like a rock in his back or something. I don't know. But anyway, I always liked seeing Jack decompose throughout the film. And then when he's later on, he's just like a skeleton and like just sits back and he just looks over and he's like, "Hey, Jack." "Hey, David."
Yeah.
Like all like normal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And when I wasn't that familiar with this movie, years ago, I saw pictures of like where he woke up and he's like from that nightmare, and he had like his eyes and the teeth and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what that's from. And then like the Nazi werewolf guys busting in. I'm like, what is this from? And then later on, I was like, oh, that's weird. That's like, like I guess more like a fever dream kind of thing, like he. So I was like, that's cool. It's almost unnecessary in a way, but like weird, but cool.
Yeah.
And then it was neat when you got to see the other people too, that they're all just kind of like, oh, hello. They're all nice about it, but they all want him to die. It's really weird. But I don't care about the nurse at all. I think that whole part of him trying to get back on track, I just don't care
Chaos.
about. I'm sorry, I just don't care about that.
Okay.
I like how he's just sitting there, all calm, and then he's like, "Jesus Christ," and it starts changing.
Yeah.
Like that was cool, and the transformation. I always thought like that was my favorite. Like, as it looks, because I imagine if you're changing into a wolf, it's got to be painful because your bones are changing, things are going around. He's a werewolf, while the other ones changed and it looked painful, but they were more shapeshifters. This is, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's a little bit of a difference between them.
Okay.
Like you said, with him in the subway, looking like you see just that little bit of him looking up at him. That is very creepy because it's like, do you ever see that picture? It says like, you open up your door to your cellar and you see this. What do you do? I'm dead. That's me. I'm dead. But yeah, I liked it. I did like this movie a lot. I still do. Now that I saw the Howling, it's like, oh, this is another one I like. I also like Ginger Snaps as well. Like, I like that.
That's
different
great.
Take on,
it's a good movie.
werewolves
Yeah.
as well. It's great. My negatives. I kind of wish there was more werewolf, I guess. I don't know. Like, each one of them didn't have enough werewolf to me.
Yeah.
Well, whatever, not enough wolves.
Right.
But, I mean, it was still cool. I really liked, like I said, the transformations, the bubbling and all that shit, the crunching.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But, and probably unpopular opinion, I don't like the original Wolfman.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's fine.
I like that atmosphere.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we all know Wolfman's got nards, right?
Yeah, that's a werewolf right there. That's a werewolf. But also, because of what Aaron was saying about the Howling, and I know you keep showing her face as the little, here it comes.
Yeah.
He's looking for it.
Oh, there you go.
He's gonna click on it. There it is.
Right now, come on,
What he said about that scene, though, makes me respect that more, and like it's like, oh, that's a really cool idea that they, so it's like ridiculous that she changed this cute thing, but like what he said was like that makes a lot of sense. So, I'm still up in the air with both of these movies.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
well, that's good. I'm glad. So your only really nitpick is maybe less dream sequences.
Yeah,
or you're okay with them.
I'm all right with them. I just say this. I guess because he's recovering that, it makes sense.
Right. Okay.
But I don't know. More bloops. Let's say we'll just go more bloops. More bloops.
All right, copy that. More bloops.
I don't know.
Chaos, are you muted? Chaos, are you muted? Okay.
I don't have headphones, so I just want to make sure there's no feedback. That's why.
Okay. All right. Aaron,
I'm forcing everybody out, so that's what's happening.
Copy that. Aaron, my friend.
Okay, I'm gonna have the most controversial take.
It's all good, man.
One thing that Rick said, though, pretty much ensured something. John Sayles, I think, is a big difference maker right here. And because American Werewolf from London has some amazing performances, and that subway sequence is a great sequence, and the theater sequence is a fun little sequence. Makeup effects are fantastic. Going from like him to the puppet him in the theater, really cool. But it's all sequences. For me, the Howling was a better story.
Okay.
American Werewolf from London has a lot of great scenes.
Okay.
But the story itself isn't as tight. Great characterization for a lot of them. Not for all of them though. I'm a huge Danny Agutter fan, like from way back. I saw this movie in the theater.
Cool.
But I'm old, so
That's all me.
But but I gotta say, Tony's right. Danny Agutter is given a fairly thankless role. She is really the only real kind of like female in the film, actually. Like we get like Dee Wallace Stone and Belinda Blasky in the Howling. Both of them have fairly strong characters. Blasky, I think, got a stronger role. But Jenny Agutter, she's pretty much it, aside from the other nurse, which is kind of like her friend, the friend nurse, and she. I don't say she's wasted because there's not really a lot of time to develop it. Like literally, she takes this guy home. And she says, "I'm not used to taking guys home, but here I am. I'm taking you home. We're going to go to bed." That type of thing.
She saw what was underneath those sheets, man.
Yeah,
in
she-
the
No, the
hospital.
other nurse I was
She's like, I'm bringing this guy home.
Yeah, it's good. I love the effects. The effects are fantastic.
Yes.
I agree with Rick Baker more than John Landis, though. Should have been on 2 feet, not on 4. That was director chosen, by the way. Rick
Okay.
Baker wanted to have him on like the Howling on 2 feet.
Oh,
John
okay.
Landis insisted on 4. And I'm going to be controversial here too. I think Joe Dante's a better director than John Landis. That's my
Ooh,
opinion.
okay.
But I know that's going to be unpopular.
It's fine.
But I'm never on the popular. My favorite werewolf, Nashi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the film watching it again. But I think watching it over, it really kind of like, and when Rick said, and John Sayles wrote The Howling, I'm like, that's what it is. It's the story. There's great pieces in American Werewolf in London. There's a great follow through with The Howling, at least in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on that.
Copy that. All right.
If I comment about her looking at his junk, and she took him home, look what happened to Steven Seagal in Hard to Kill. Same thing.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Good point.
That's
In other words,
point.
I'm going to
Fun
be
fact.
staying in the hospital the whole time.
There you go.
This guy.
The big difference, though, is
Room, like he just
if
makes you
you
look
don't
at
take Steven
Don't go
Seagal
there.
home, if you don't take Steven Seagal home, you don't have a part in the movie anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Chaos. Chaos, what you got? Oh,
Damn, too, but
it will forever. Chaos, go ahead. What you got?
Okay, well let's talk about the best werewolf movie ever made, and that is American Werewolf in Paris.
Yes. Of all time.
Great cast. I actually really enjoyed this movie. It's a guilty pleasure, but I love the cast in that movie. I know it's not great, but it's what it is. I enjoy it. Okay, American Werewolf in London. To me, this is a magical movie. This is a movie that it's got what, for me, The Howling is missing, and that's sort of the. And not every movie needs this, but I feel like what allows us to get into this movie is that it's got that everyman character. David, you could be David. This could happen to you. And yes, there's not a ton of werewolf stuff. I mean, it's almost exactly an hour before he starts transforming. And literally at 59 minutes is when it happens. So it takes a while to get to the good stuff, but you get the dream sequences and things like that. You don't see the monster a lot. I do like that it's, a quadruped, that it's an actual wolf. That's unique. That helps the movie stand out to me. I think that's creepier that a man becomes a beast. I think that's creepier than it's just like a giant hairy dude, which I love too. But
Right.
the complete transformation of man into animal, that's frightening. The concept alone, that is frightening to me. So I think that works, and it looks like it hurts too. So to me, I love that. I love that we're given a werewolf movie at the time, unlike any other, where we get this man beast, and we're following a guy who's just on fucking vacation, man. He's just on vacation like Axel Foley. Then all of a sudden he gets attacked by a werewolf, and now he's a fucking werewolf. His friend is dead. That's okay. Now I'm with you. We talk about the save the cat concept in screenwriting. How do we get the audience to sympathize, to like our main character? Well, you put him in a situation where he can't necessarily win. He's trying his best to win. That movie does that. Whether you want to compare and contrast John Sayles and John Landis scripts, you could do that. Obviously, maybe there's not a lot of subtext and things. But what I like about American Werewolf is I feel like I'm watching a fully formed movie. This is a character study about a guy who's on vacation. He gets fucked. His life is destroyed by becoming this monster. Yes, it's a comedy, and I think it works as a comedy. It makes it more rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the issues with The Howling, it's like I just never feel in the mood to watch it because I know it's trying to be a creepy monster movie, and okay, fine. But American Werewolf feels comforting. It feels cozy. It feels like I'm going to go hang out with some friends and watch this happen. And I love the setting of London. I've never been, but I always wanted to go. There's just something about it. I mean, it just speaks to the poetry of the filmmaking. Speaks to the feeling of the movie. It just feels good. I love all the elements. I love the dream sequences. I think that's a brilliant way. There might have been a studio note. You got to put something in there. We're not going to have werewolves.
There you go.
You know, which is fine. Like, how iconic is that shit? I mean, that stuff is amazing. And the lines are so iconic. I mean, people quote the lines of this movie all the time. The ending is powerful. Jenny Aguilar's in it. Oh my God! You see side boob. That's amazing. You know,
Side boob's awesome.
Yeah, it is a thankless role, and it's kind of a weird. It's just sort of like, hey, I'm a nurse. Come fuck with me. You know, that's strange.
Yeah.
But you know, it's almost like the movie exists outside of time in a sort of a fantasy reality where werewolves are real. You can walk on the moors.
Yeah.
I don't know. It worked for me, man. You know.
Okay.
It's a movie that just kind of it strikes all the boxes, and I wouldn't even make it a negative that you don't see the werewolf that often, because that's just we're not necessarily making we are making a werewolf movie. But we're telling the story of a guy whose life has become destroyed, and it's like, you know, the Wolfman. He's not the Wolfman that often. So, but it's the story of little Larry Talbot. Here we got the story of David, and I loved it, man. I have no notes when it comes to this movie. I watch this over and over again. I think it's a powerful movie, and we have to do, before I forget to mention it, we have to do episode 11.
Okay.
Paris versus Howling 2.
Oh, there you go.
That'll be funny. That may not be 11. That might be 12. But that sounds like a lot of fun to do. Just for fun, that might be like. This is for you, Chaos. Thanks again for the donation for the super chat. He goes, one of the best things about American Werewolf in Paris, since you're a fan, Chaos, was the band Bush's Loop de Garu remix of their song Mouth. Were you a fan of the soundtrack?
Oh, the soundtrack, dude! The soundtrack was amazing. I had that CD. I played it like nonstop. That's probably my favorite part of the movie.
So is the issue with Paris, because I'm only seen that movie once, is that for fans who like the movie and enjoy it as a guilty pleasure like you do, the people like the movie, they just the CGI is not great. Is that it?
The CGI is terrible, but Julie Delpy is amazing. She's just a wonderful actress. She brings a lot to that part. Tom Everett Scott is just another really likable David Dunn character. Okay. I love all of that stuff. The werewolf.
So you like the movie? Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't they bungee cord off the Eiffel Tower or something?
Yeah, they did something like that.
He did. Yeah, he knocked himself out.
Yes,
well,
that's right.
The real question here is side boob or under boob?
Oh, yeah.
Both.
Depends
Both. Right? Both.
Well, you only get one choice, though.
Under.
I go
under.
For
under.
Rick goes for boob.
Whatever boob I can get is fine.
It's just a boob.
Love it. Rick?
The girl standing in front of me going, you have to choose. Ladies' choice.
That's it.
Favorite part.
Oh, then she's going to keep your shirt on.
That's fine, too. Right?
She can't take you home if you're in the hospital.
Rick.
Yes.
Floor is yours, my friend.
Yes. Well, okay. Okay, gentlemen. There's another movie that came out. These movies came out in what, 81 or 82?
They both say 81 in IMDb.
Okay.
Yeah, 81.
There's another movie that came out in 1981 that has a certain visual and stylistic similarity, especially to American Werewolf in London. That movie is called Evil Dead. So the question, especially that subway sequence. So the question is, who inspired who? I will openly admit, I have issues with John Landis.
Okay.
I harbor resentments against him. But beyond me, I think if you did a survey of everyone who worked in Hollywood at the time up until now, there would be almost unanimous agreement that whatever your feelings about their skills as a director, Joe Dante is a far better human being than John Landis. To the court controversy, Joe Dante has never murdered Vietnamese children or a famous actor on set.
Yikes! Yeah, the
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Twilight
Yep.
Zone, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yikes.
working on the revival of that. Of
Yeah.
course, so I'm intimate with that. So I've openly admitted my bias.
Okay.
I haven't gone into full details. I've met John Landis. I've met his son, and my meeting with his son was much nicer than my meeting with John.
Oh. Okay.
So, and also I wanted to mention this to you, gentlemen, in terms of your opinions as to where you would rank these in the scale. Brotherhood of the Wolf,
Love it.
I love that film.
Curse of the Werewolf with Oliver Reed.
Hammer.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Now, my Werewolf of London, one of the first werewolf movies. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. But it's an ancient film. And two of my favorite werewolf movies, without question of all time, is Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Absolutely. House of Frankenstein too, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, two, specifically American Werewolf in London. I saw the premiere as well. It was the same era. I'm in the same situation. Still working for all these magazines and these books. I'm known. I can come and see the premiere. And I'm sitting in the audience, and I enjoyed the movie, but I'm well versed in the monster and everything else. I love the Wolfman myself and the concept of the werewolf. I don't think the werewolf has really ever been done correctly, because the nature of the werewolf, he's sort of like all the great monsters are representative of problems with human beings. And in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, it was kind human versus evil human.
Mm.
The werewolf is man, as you pointed out, into beast, and where that dichotomy is. And in that way, I feel the best werewolf movie reflects the beast in man. And until they make a movie that makes that connection paramount, I don't think we'll ever have a truly great werewolf movie.
Mm.
But now for this, I'm watching the movie, and there's a point in the movie where I just go, where it loses me. And I'm reminded the difference between John Sayles and John Landis, which is John Sayles is looking for something that always is integral to the story. He is not going. I don't like movies with humor outside the film. My biggest complaint about certain James Bond movies is during the Roger Moore era, where I'll have a double-taking pigeon, which you don't see in life. It's humor outside the movie.
Yeah.
I always like humor inside the movie. There's a moment that just killed it for me in American Werewolf in London, which is in the last scene in the porno theater with everybody advising David Naughton to kill himself. And they're talking about, well, you can use a gun. And he goes, don't you need a silver bullet? And his friend says something along the lines of, I don't know the exact quote, but it's very similar to this, don't be stupid. And Naughton just takes it. That's my problem with his everyman. There are all kinds of everymen, Master Chaos.
Okay.
Who I respect and like and aspire to and appreciate. There was a whole period in horror movies especially where these with it cool studio producers would create these heroes who are ineffectual, who are milquetoast, who don't have their own minds. David Naughton's in that theater, and his friend, he says, well, don't you need a silver bullet? Which is a perfectly reasonable thing to say.
Uh-huh.
And his corpse friend, his zombie corpse friend, says, don't be stupid. And Naughton just sort of swallows it. And I'm in the audience going, tell him what? Are you kidding me? You're a corpse in a theater telling me how to kill myself. And you say don't be stupid because I'm asking about a silver bullet? Explain that to me. No, he just lets it slide. And I said, all right, that's an example of John Landis as a writer. He just wanted to say that's something John Landis would say, to put someone down. It isn't reasonable, it isn't logical in the circumstance. But he just wanted a wise ass comment.
Gotcha.
Okay, fine. But that was made up for later on. Gentlemen, did you know this is one of the most realistic and accurate depictions of car accidents ever in cinema? Ever in cinema. Shortly after this, or maybe during it, Smokey and the Bandit comes out, all these car chase movies, Cannonball Run comes out, who have horrific crashes. It's still happening to this day, and no one is bruised. In American Werewolf in London, there are fender benders, which rip people's skin off. That's what happens when you're in a car accident, especially at that time when they hadn't made all the advances in safety in cars. So I'm in the audience during that point going, this is great. This is great. John Landis, please write and direct a gun movie so you can show people how guns actually work and how they feel. Thankfully, John Woo came and took care of that, even though that's not how they act, but at least that shows you the power and fear in guns.
Yeah.
So I was torn by that. Those were my two issues with the movie.
Okay.
The positive, which is car crashes, awesome. Negatives, contrived writing, milquetoast, ineffectual, tofu of a hero.
Right.
Carry on.
Okay. All right. Woo. Rick dropping the hammer there as always. All right.
That, man.
All right. So
What the hell's wrong with a silver bullet? It makes perfect sense.
You know, it's funny. I listened to the audio commentary on this, and they talk about that. It was David Dunn and the other guy, the guy who played Jack. And they said, "Oh, we brought it up to John Landis. Like, hey, what about silver bullets? I didn't get shot with a silver bullet. Can we make a sequel?" And Landis would just say, "No sequel. He's dead." So, I mean, yeah, I get your perspective, Rick. I mean, he's definitely more of a, yeah, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, that whole silver bullet thing was kind of strange.
More of a do as I say guy.
Right, yeah.
Right.
I
Do
100% agree with
as I
that.
say guy.
here's a quick question before we give our vote here, before we wrap it up here. What do you guys think of this? Modern werewolf transformations today in movies where they rip their skin off the flesh to reveal.
Oh,
Do you guys like that?
That's
like a
cool.
wolf cop.
Yeah.
I like anybody who does something different. I don't like everybody doing the
I
exact
like it.
Nice.
I wrote the Incredible Hulk novel for Marvel, and one of the things I wanted to do so badly was to have, first of all, only have the transformation when he gets angry, not when he gets hurt, when he gets angry. So it has to be anger. And the other thing, I wanted the Hulk to explode out of him, not slowly transform. Explode.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm happy when they do that kind of stuff.
Nice. I agree with Dog Soldier right here. The best modern transformation is the one Trick or Treat. Yes, I had to rewind that and watch that several times
It looks so
because of the cinematography.
Right.
Sure you did.
You know, it's
But
a good
yeah.
werewolf movie. Has some good transformations. Bad Moon. Have you guys seen Bad Moon?
Yes,
I
I enjoy.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Bad Moon. I really do. That's like one of my favorites.
Silver Bullet. Silver
Silver Bullet's good too. Yeah.
I love Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
All right. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. Don't worry, we're going to wrap it up with our vote, guys. 56 badasses watching. Thanks for hanging in with us and listening to us talk about movies, which is what we love doing. But my favorite werewolf movie of all time, I'm going to get a lot of flack. I'm going to get a lot of flack, but I got to be true to Samurai.
I'm curious.
Is a little, small, low-budget movie
Wolf guy.
that I thought that premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Wolf guy.
Wolf Guy. That premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel, which I thought was going to be garbage. And I watched it with zero expectations and was blown away. My favorite werewolf movie of all time will be Dog Soldiers.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
Dog
werewolf
Soldiers, yeah,
movie.
Dog
I'm not going to get no
Yeah.
flack for that. I've seen a bunch of people saying that in the chat.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
All right. I thought I was alone.
I thought you were gonna say Wolf Cop.
Wolf.
Fun movies.
I like Teen Wolf.
That's fun.
Wolf's
Yeah.
great.
Wasn't Wolf Guy the movie with Sonny Chiba, right?
Yeah, but he's not a wolf in it. So
He's-
it's not,
he's
Yeah,
not-
it's like a weird.
He's not a werewolf?
he's not a werewolf. And that's it. I guess I'm pissed off.
It has a different meaning in Asia. It has a
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad you guys told me that. I was all excited. Woo, Sonny Chiba playing a werewolf detective.
I like ETN's comment there.
What do you say? Little Red Riding Hood, best werewolf story.
He's just a wolf, though. He's not a werewolf.
talking wolf. He's not a werewolf. He doesn't
Okay, I got you.
Maybe he was the guy who just turned into a wolf. Oh,
We don't know.
movie idea. Let's make a movie, guys. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Oh, Cinestalker is he's transforming
I
right now.
transformed from a werewolf. That's what happened. I did something good.
You know, men.
Hold on.
they all turn into
I'll be
wolves.
good. Hold on.
Okay.
We're
He's
good.
gonna come up and just his hairy ass is gonna be on the screen. They're like two googly eyes stuck to it, and he'll for the mouth coming out, it'll be like a turd.
Yeah.
Aaron's not amused.
Aaron said thinking twice about coming back.
Aaron's like, that's not fun.
He doesn't want to vote. He doesn't want to vote. What's going on?
No, I, don't, I guess he had something he had to do. Stalker, you all right, man?
He had to scratch his balls. Just let's go to the vote.
All right.
We
I
can
think
go last.
I think he can go last. We'll just do that. All right. Tony of the Dead, The Howling, or An American Werewolf in London.
Here we go.
There he is.
Danny.
All
Can-
right.
oh man.
We can go back to Danny
There we
after
go.
Tony.
Yeah, go to Danny.
Danny, time to vote, my friend. The Howling or American Werewolf in
What
London?
happened?
Uh-oh. Are you good? You gotta love being live, baby.
You look
Can't hear
beautiful,
nothing.
Danny.
I can hear you.
Hear
Hold
you.
on.
Hear you.
Yeah, you're not muted on my end.
I don't know what I did. Let me
He's
see.
fucking with us, I think.
All right.
Tony, just go, man.
Tony, go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Tony.
Well, The Howling. I'm just gonna say because
All right.
I really enjoyed them
Look
both.
at that.
But watching The Howling for the first time, I liked
Yeah.
the story better.
Okay.
And, I just enjoyed it more this time. It might be different next time I watch it, but
right.
The Howling. I
Nice.
love The Howling.
Nice. Look at that, Aaron.
He's not amused. He don't give a shit.
Aaron, just to remind Chad again, Howling or
I'm
American
surprised
Werewolf.
because
The
I thought I was
Howling.
going to be the lone voice here.
Just
But The
vote
Howling,
Tony.
like-
You're right.
Easy choice.
Okay, awesome. Danny, can you hear us? Are you back, my friend?
Give me 5, Aaron.
Can you hear us?
And he's in another dimension.
Facebook message him,
Stop
Chaos.
trying to fix your goddamn cam. You look beautiful.
His name is Danny, not Tony. I think that's what
Okay,
you.
sorry. Sorry.
He's old.
Yes, I am.
David.
Chaos, message Danny, Chaos. What's his choice? There you go.
Let's see. Now he's muted. Now he's unmuted.
Is it just vote?
Danny.
Danny.
Can't hear nothing. I
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Are you back now? No? Yeah. This is hilarious. Danny, this or this? This?
Oh yeah. I'm
Next
going
or
to
this.
American Werewolf in London. Yeah.
Hey! Woo! All right. Samurai took care of it. All right, cool.
God. I don't know what happened to my thing? It's like weird. I'm
Okay.
like, I can't
All
hear
right.
you guys. I guess you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hear shit. I
Oh,
don't know what I did.
how bizarre. Okay. All
I don't
right.
know what the hell I did.
All right.
I have no idea what happened.
We got 1 for London. We got 2 for Howling. Chaos.
Oh my
Boom.
God, man.
Okay. If you're going to say what's a better werewolf movie, The Howling is a better werewolf movie. Which
Okay.
is probably better? American Werewolf in London. That's my
All right. All right. 2 for London.
Yep.
2 for Howling.
Here we
Rick,
go.
who we got? Who we got? What you got, my friend?
Howling.
Oh, Aaron! Rick said Howling. Look at that. You're not alone, Aaron. You're not alone, Aaron. Look at that.
Yo,
All right. Look at that. All right.
we're gonna need a
All
timer.
right. Well, we got the Movie Dojo Army. They did vote. So it depends
Fuck
on
them.
what I pick. No? Depends on what I pick.
They screw up ties.
No. You gotta have, we'll see what happens here. All right. So for me, I enjoyed the Howling a lot more rewatching it, and their transformation sequence really gave, in my opinion, London a run for its money. I really enjoyed it a lot. But I enjoyed when the doctor died. He said, "Thank God." That was great. That was hilarious. Yeah. So I highly recommend the Howling. I definitely enjoyed it a lot more. However, I got to vote for the movie that I would watch more repeatedly.
Yep.
And, as a movie, I agree with Chaos and everybody else in terms of the story is definitely better. But I enjoy the dark comedy sequences. They're very memorable.
Yeah.
I enjoy the dream sequences. They're batshit crazy, but they're memorable, right? I think not seeing the werewolf that much works in its favor.
Yeah.
And then when you see the werewolf, it is fucking phenomenal. The effects are fucking phenomenal. And I love the chaos at the end that Rick was talking about with the car crashes. So many people died. There was decapitations. You know what made me laugh, though? Was when the death in the theater, right? And the police pulled down the shade to keep the werewolf from coming out. And then the cop turns around and yells out, "We got a monster trying to get out, a rabid dog. Run for your lives. Don't come over here." And the crowd gets bigger as they're like coming close. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Which was hilarious. But, it's just more memorable to me. I love the transformation sequence with the music in the background. You wouldn't think that would make it unsettling to have that song playing over a werewolf transformation. In terms of rewatchability, for me, everybody's different. I would rewatch this way more than The Howling, even though I enjoyed The Howling a lot better watching it a second time. So we have a tie! We have a versus tie, so it's up to the Movie Dojo Army to break the tie. Who did the Movie Dojo... I can speak at the English, right? Who did the Movie Dojo Army vote for? Bo! Hey-oh!
That's the one.
There it is.
319 votes.
319 votes, son. The Movie Dojo
That's a
Army has spoken.
Seriously?
big
Yeah.
overwhelming number.
Yeah, it has spoken. The Movie Dojo Army has spoken.
80%.
That's right.
There you go, Match Guy. I got mine up there.
The winner of tonight's verses is... All right. I'm sorry, everybody rooting for The Howling. It's all good. I still love the movie. I still like the movie.
There it is.
Quick question
Sure.
for Rick. Now this is I don't know if you knew this, or you probably know this, Rick, but John Landis is one of those people getting hit by cars in that car accident scene. He's the guy who falls through the glass window. I thought that was awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
I was
off
very
topic.
happy.
Go ahead.
I was very happy to see him get it.
About Landis and about Twilight Zone. Do you know any more about that story? I mean, I know it's a kind of a tragic, awful thing, but do you know any more about sort of the background of how that all went down? Because it's as a filmmaker, that's such a curious element to me, that something so crazy could happen on a set that you would imagine is 100% controlled. So I don't know if you know any more details on how all that went down.
I do, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's off the air stuff.
I do feel he was responsible.
Really? Okay.
Oh, boy.
His behavior in the court when they were having the lawsuit was
Ooh. Okay.
pretty bad.
Gotcha.
Copy that. That's all we will say. We will not go any further.
Gotcha.
From what I
Right. All right.
wasn't there.
All right.
I wanted to point out I put a poll on my community tab as well on YouTube, and
Okay.
of all 7 votes I got, they voted for American Werewolf in London.
There you go.
This goes to show you what subscribers know. Nothing. Nothing.
As usual, people can get their hands on American Werewolf a lot easier than they can the Howling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, one's an independent film and one is a
Right. Yeah, I got you.
They're both good.
Yeah, they're both good.
Both good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the point. That right down
Better,
to it. Yeah, they're
better
both
story, better pacing, but I just found London to be more entertaining, and that's just me.
Much, though, by this much, it's not like one is up here and one's down here. It's like they're right here.
They're both really great.
Yeah.
They're both really good. I enjoy them both. This was a lot of fun, Danny. I don't want to keep you, my friend. Thanks for
I'll keep
hanging
them.
out. The next Crow sequel, I'll hit you up, and we'll review that. I'm just kidding.
Can't hear nothing.
Make them
Oh,
watch.
he can't.
Make them watch. Make
All
them watch
right.
Death
We're
Sport.
saying goodbye, Danny. We're saying goodbye. All right. We're saying goodbye, Danny.
Bye, Danny.
I can't hear shit. But I don't know what I did.
There we go. It's all
catch you
good,
guys
man.
later.
It's all good.
I
All
can't
right.
hear a damn thing.
That's all right. Thanks, man. Thank
It was
you.
fun.
Thank you for hanging out.
I'll text you. And Master Chaos and let you guys know.
Okay.
I don't know what I did.
Talking.
All right.
Stop
Have a good one, man. All right. Cool. Oh man. All right. So
Did he leave or did you kick him?
I kicked him out. No. He left. I'm just joking.
No, I'm
All
just
right.
kidding.
He said yes. All right. So this was a lot of fun. This was a blast. Thank all of you badasses for watching today. 50 people came to show up. We appreciate that. Thanks for the likes and for the love. And thanks for showing up to represent your favorite in the comments, voting, anything. Doesn't matter who the winner is here. Show up to represent, right? That's all that matters. We're here to show up, represent, talk about cinema, which is what we love doing. That's right. Tony of the Dead, make sure you go to his channel, Mr. Tony of the Dead, and subscribe. That's right. A lot of badassity over there. Yeah. If you love horror films and now action martial arts films, head over. This Tony's dipping his toe in the action genre. Yeah. He's dipping. Yeah. Make sure you head over to Cult of Cinema. That's right. Or Aaron Pinn, subscribe. He is fantastic over there. The knowledge is insane. Again, like I said, I already feel smarter just him sitting here. He didn't have to say anything. My IQ just went up.
I'm learning stuff from you guys today, man.
I feel
That's
stupid
right.
when he's in the room.
I feel stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, subscribe to Aaron Pinn. All right, a lot of great content over there. This guy knows what he's talking about. He's a film lover just like all of us. Subscribe. And Aaron, you're always welcome to come back, my friend. Anytime. All right.
Love it, man.
All right. And Chaos.
Hey,
Master Chaos, make sure you subscribe
we're doing
to
this
him
now.
as well.
We got to do it.
I'm down. It's not next week. I'm gonna let you know what next week is. But after that, I'm down. I'm down
Okay,
for it.
I'll tell you what. Howling 2 probably is going to win because it's got way more boobs. Amazing boobs.
It'll win off the bloops. The bloops will get it over to them.
That's my fault. I'm guessing it early, but I still love both.
I'm curious. I cannot wait to see Tony's reaction to the second movie, especially after, because he has no idea. He has no idea what he's in for, and I cannot wait to hear. I cannot wait to hear what he thinks of it. Yeah.
Is it my sister's a werewolf? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
That's one of the titles, right?
One of the titles.
Yeah.
What about the third movie? Like,
The marsupials.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, am I? I don't know if Rick or Aaron, or Chaos, if you heard this. Now, Christopher Lee, the legend, did he make a public apology? Right?
He did.
He apologized for the.
he did.
Really? Oh wow.
Okay.
When he went on the set of Gremlins 2, he apologized. For,
That's hilarious.
for part 2.
There you go, Tony. You're in for some goodness there. You're gonna crack up, man. Yeah. It's right up your alley, Tony. It's right up your alley.
Oh, you'll
But
love it.
I'm definitely down to doing that. But chat, don't forget to subscribe to Master Chaos TV. Make sure you go out there, follow Rick Myers on your podcast, sir.
Yep.
Let chat know.
Actionfilmautopsy.com.
There you go. Make sure you follow it and buy all his merch. Buy everything. Do it all.
Buy books.
Yeah. Books. Yes. Books, documentaries, a lot of good stuff. from Kung Fu Santa, son. That's how we do it. That's how we represent. All right, you don't have to let me know now. You can let me know when we're off the air. But let me know if you're down for next week's verses. I was like, let's switch it up. I'm enjoying switching things up. So last week, we did martial arts action, all that stuff. This week we're doing, the horror genre or Rick's comedy genre. Let's do 2 live action adaptation of video games movies.
Ooh.
Let's do that.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't a versus, Chaos. This is a versus. Yeah. So, and one came out in 2007. The very next one came out the very next year. Okay. And they're both action related.
One's Doom.
Next versus next week, we're going to do Hitman Unrated versus Max Payne Unrated.
I've seen neither one of them.
Let's do it. If you guys are down, let me know off the air. Let me know. I heard Max Payne is atrocious. I've never seen it. I've seen Hitman once, and I was okay with it, but that was in 2007. So I'm curious to think when I'm revisiting it, what I'm going to think about it now. But I want to do it. This gives me a chance to have an excuse to watch Max Payne.
Yeah.
So I said, "Fuck it."
Street Fighter versus Double Dragon. I was going to be like so excited.
Oh, sorry.
Mario versus Double Dragon or something.
Like I said, you can let me know off the air if you guys are down or not. But I'm sure some of you might be. Not all of you, I know. But I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun to put them together. So, whose comments are saying here? Oh, Ranjit saying Max Payne. Yasuke saying Hitman. They already started, baby. They already started. That's right.
All right.
That's right. All right.
Yeah. I've seen both.
Raise his hand.
All right. So that's next Thursday. We may have a special guest maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure on the channel. We may have a special guest. He's got to get back to me. Maybe. He's a very busy man. We'll see. There might be a Verbal Nectar podcast guest tomorrow. Maybe. Monday on the podcast, we're going to have Rick knows him. I'm going to have on here Robert Samuels is going to be here on the podcast. Yeah. And then Tuesday, it'll be me and Rick. That's right. One-on-one on the beach. Samurai Kung Fu style to the death. No, I'm just kidding. Rick wins. But we're going to have Rick on Tuesday. So a lot of cool stuff next week. And don't forget to subscribe, become a member, hit the join button up at the top. Take a look at it. Check out the perks. And I, again, appreciate all you guys watching and hanging out with us today. See you badasses next time. Video Game Movie Wars next week. Let's do it. Take care, guys.
Night.
Oh, you can